In the first part of learning about formulas, we edited some prompt values with functions and added a new prompt. Now in this one, I want to show you how we can work with that new prompt inside of one of our cut parts. So going to our cut parts tab, I'm going to pick on the quantity of our base left side. Now because this is not formula driven, I'm going to turn it into a formula and not worry about messing anything else up inside of this product. So that's our next step. Let's add a formula for the quantity of this base left side. So to start off, again, hitting F2, you can also double click in there to open up this formula editor. If it doesn't open up though with double clicking it, then F2 to get that open. All right, so now we're going to start off again by entering an equal sign, and we're going to use our new prompt. But I want to show you, because it's been a defined name inside of Toolbox, we can hit that name button and we can paste the name from our list. So selecting on the local variables because we added it as a local variable. And it's in alphabetical order. Here's our test data, hit OK. So right now it's equaling local test data. Now if we just hit apply formula, it's returning that because that's the value for our test data. But we're going to turn it into an if statement. So if local test data, now you don't have to have the L exclamation because we're inside of the local workbook. That's really just to reference other workbooks inside of Toolbox. So if you're in the same workbook, doesn't need to have it. So we can just do if test data equals yay, then give me a value of 1 because I want my left side to be on. If it doesn't, then give me 0. And then close it off with another parentheses and hit apply formula. When we save, close, and redraw this, there goes our left side from our product. And just to mention, when you see anything turn red like that, it's just because that hardware doesn't have anywhere to go into. So it turns red and let you know we got an error. A little off topic. Okay, now open up our prompts page and let's change that width again. Because remember, test data is looking to the width to return a value. We changed it to 36 and we could just hit OK to redraw, but we can also see how that test data updates before we do that. And as we redraw the product, because of the formula we had for the quantity of the base left side, there we go. We got it back. So let's open up Edit Design Data again and run through this, try to make sense of it all. This large text option is pretty nice. Yeah, that makes it a little bit easier to read. So if test data equals yay, then we get our left side. Otherwise, we don't. And now into the test data, the only way that we get yay is if the width does not equal 30. Now, before we go back into our cut parts, I just want to show you one thing here. Adjusted width. This is a pretty basic formula. So I thought this one would be just a good one to highlight to show you that we don't always need a parentheses or an if statement for a formula to work. So this one equals width minus applied end thickness left minus applied end thickness right, and it gives us a value of 36. Now, why does it give us a value of 36? So it's saying the width minus 2 other prompts. And those prompts just happen to be right here. But if they weren't, we know those applied end thickness left and right prompt names or defined names were used. There we go, applied end thickness right. So 36 minus 0 minus 0. So the next prompt name that we're going to use is left filler width. And I just wanted to show you that these are not formula driven. So using these to make some changes is just helpful while we're testing things out. Back into our cut parts tab. This time we're going to add and. Doesn't have to be capitalized right now. It will be once we hit apply formula because it knows it's a function. So it'll capitalize automatically for us. Now, if and test data equals yay, the next one also has to be true for it to return 1. The next one is going to be called left filler width. We can go back into our local variables and do it that way. So we could find it there, double click on it, or you could just type it in, underscores instead of spaces. And left filler width needs to be greater than 0. So now both of these statements inside of the parentheses need to be true for us to get that left side back. Now while we're inside of here, I also want to show you what this function editor button does. So highlight that if function, and now it's going to tell us if that logical test is true or false. So it's letting us know that it's false. So if it is false, we get this value of 0. Now looking at this logical test, we can break that down even further and try to figure out why it's false. Selecting the and, again, that's the function. And there we go. So you can see the test data, that is true, but the left filler width is not greater than 0. Well, we don't have our left side yet. Let's save, close, and redraw and do the rest of it through the prompts page. Okay, now to get that left side back on, we need to have our left filler width greater than 0. So this is, obviously pretty stupid. We need a left side no matter what, right, to make this cabinet. But just to show you how these formulas work, there you go. Now it's back. Let's see, what else did we have to do to make that left side go away? We needed the test data to be something other than yay. So if we just entered a new value in there, that would work. And if we wanted to, we can go back into the cut parts and adjust the quantity. And instead of it saying an and, it could say maybe. So now only one of them needs to be true. So even though the test data is false, the left filler width is greater than 0, so it's returning a 1. And let's see which one of these is true. Since there is only one of them in here, it's that left filler width being greater than 0. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about formulas, breaking them down, and possibly even adding some new ones inside of your products. All right, well, I think that's good for now. Thanks again for watching, and keep on creating those extraordinary things with ease with Microvellum Toolbox.